I just have to record, sorry. They fall off. So traditionally, people will stay on Shakeology for 3 months and then they'll fall off. So if you're counting on just those 2 first people to keep you at Emerald, or maybe even the first 4 people, and you kind of sit back and say, oh, this is awesome, I'm an Emerald coach and life is good, they're going to cancel. And someday your upline's going to say to you, I don't know if you're checking your back office, your sponsorship drill down, but you are going to lose everything this week. So if you lose your Emerald status, Beachbody no longer keeps that bank account open for you. So when I talk about bank account, I'm trying to simplify. What Beachbody does is banks all of the volume that is happening within our team underneath you. So any coach that's signed up underneath you, and remember, you have 2 legs. 1 leg, only you can add people to. We refer to that as your weak leg. So you have to be a working coach to take advantage of the second layer of compensation that Team Beachbody gives us, okay? You have to be adding to that weak leg all the time. Your strong leg, most likely, depending on where you are in your upline's downline, they will be adding coaches too. So it's always most likely going to have some volume to it. So what Beachbody does is it banks all of that volume that's accumulating on that strong leg for you. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I love how Justine talks about it. I don't know if she's on this call, but she always talks about it as her bank account. Like it's like an RRSP that you don't have to do anything with. It's sitting there as long as you stay Emerald. Okay, so when your upline messages you, and it's not because we're being kind of nasty, we're just like saying, you know, you have all of this banked and it's going to be washed away this week if you don't get your status back. And that's why building and continuing to build. So once you get to Emerald, just do it again. So whatever you did, so I had 3 ladies hit Emerald this week. Super exciting, super celebration. Just do that again. Find 2 more people that want the discount or want to join your team and your community and start helping other people. And then you do it again and you do it again. There's nothing more than that to get to Diamond. And then of course, once you get to Diamond, your income is going to increase. There's just so many amazing things start happening once you get to Diamond. And a lot of it is internal. You feel like you've done something really quite significant. It's a big celebration within the team and within the company. And then sort of the floodgates open to your compensation plan. So I just want to share my screen with you quickly so you can get a visual of what Diamond looks like. And then Camille's going to take over and she's going to just share with us how she did it, what her strategy was. So one second here. I want you guys to see these images. Okay, so this is the first image and it's just a corporate image. And I just want you to see the layers of getting to Diamond. So lots of you on the call are Emerald. Honestly, if you are not Emerald yet, you just need to make that decision, like today, that you are going to be Emerald within the next week. Lots of people, in fact, most people, sign someone special in their life as the one person. We've talked about it. If you're confused by that sentence, you need to look in the live videos on Fitneek Nation, because Terry and I talked about it for about half an hour not too long ago and gave you all the reasons why. I'm not going to get into that today. And then one other person, it's probably a person that's already in your challenge group and drinking Shakeology. Maybe it's your sister, your best friend that's going to do the program with you. If you have someone doing 80-day obsession, they should be committed to Shakeology or some of that performance line, because guys, can we really do that program without energize and recover? I can't. So that's how I've signed up lots of people as coaches. VIP members is how I refer to them. That's how you can get to Emerald. But you need to keep doing that. And as you keep doing that, you're going to become Ruby. And what Ruby means, and this is interesting because this is wrong. I think you need 6 coaches to be Ruby. So I think they've got this diagram wrong. So I think you need 3 and 3, unless I'm wrong, but is it just 4? Okay. Anyways, Ruby is often something that people skip. I've actually only had like one coach ever get to Ruby, because to be a Ruby coach, you do have to have 2 Emerald coaches. So what does that mean? That means that 2 of your coaches, personally sponsored coaches that you have signed up, have to also become Emerald. Now, for me, that was Darlene. She became Emerald. She was wanting to be an active working coach. And my husband, Terry, I just put 2 VIP members of mine underneath him. Terry does not work the business. I am still their coach, but I put them under him to make him an Emerald. And it's the exact same thing to get to Diamond. You just need 8 coaches, 8 active, personally sponsored coaches, 4 on one side, 4 on another, and 2 Emeralds. Okay, so that's sort of an easy description of your sort of roadmap to Diamond. However, I want you guys to think bigger than that, because what happens when you just have the bare minimum is you fall out of Diamond. I don't want you guys to get into the mindset of, just like I described at getting to Emerald, once you get to Diamond, you have to keep your foot on the gas. You have to just continuously ask people to become coaches or VIP members. I'll be honest, my business at the beginning was built on VIP members. I had zillions of them. Because in Canada, Shakeology is pretty pricey, I basically offered the discount to anybody. But the magic that happened was 4 of those VIP members wanted to build businesses once they got into our community. So building a solid Diamond business with VIP members is so important, because what's going to happen if you only have 8 coaches, this lady over here and this lady over here, she's going to go away on vacation and decide to put her Shakeology on hold. When she does that, you're going to go inactive, okay? You are no longer going to have, you're no longer going to be able to hold your rank, which totally sucks. Because then all of a sudden you lose that income, that $18 team cycle bonus, okay? So I hope that sort of gives you a visual of what you need to get to that Diamond rank. And I want to stop sharing here. There we go. Okay, and now, does that make sense to everybody? Just thumbs up. Yeah. Cool. Okay, and Camille, take over, my dear. I think everybody knows Camille. She is Diamond coach. How long have you been a coach, Camille?
I signed up the end of May of last year.
So that's pretty awesome. Like, not even a year. And when did you go Diamond? I should have known this before, but
so I signed up May 22nd as a coach, and I hit Diamond September 28th. So about 4 months.
Yeah. So she's just going to share her secrets. She's going to share her tips. She's going to share. This girl's very consistent. I would get your pen and paper out and take some notes. So thanks for sharing with us, Camille, and take it away.
Hi, guys. So the thing is, like, there's really not a secret. Like, it's really not that hard. I don't feel like I'm any different than anyone else on this team. So it's very, like, humbling to come on here and share my secrets with you. But so I just wanted to, I guess I was going to share, like, I signed up last year, end of May. I had a 3-month-old newborn baby and a toddler. So I was not like, I was staying at home, but I was not in a place to really start a business. I actually launched my business before I was ready accidentally. I didn't realize how Instagram worked, and I actually launched my first post without meaning to. And so that kind of lit the fire for me. So the way that I got started, I had a support group that I opened. Like, I had a support group on Facebook that I opened. I did not start with a like page, like a business like page. And then I had an Instagram account. And I think one of the things that helped me from the beginning and getting started was I did start with a pretty big, I guess, network of people. I was already friends with a lot of people on Facebook, and I pretty much just dumped every female I'd ever met into my support group, knowing that they could leave if they wanted. And so I sort of started with that group of people. And then my Instagram account was just, I was just posting. I wasn't obviously doing like stories or anything like that. I don't even know if we had stories then. And then I started my like page a few months later. And looking back, I wish I had started my like page sooner. So I guess just FYI to everyone on here, like, I highly recommend, if you don't have Instagram, like, definitely get an Instagram account and then start a like business page if you're really wanting to turn this into a business. But like Michelle said, as far as I sort of just went through and wrote out some steps and tips that I feel like have helped me along the way. And the first thing is like very basic. Like, you obviously need to know where to look and how to look. You know, you need to obviously know how to get into your Coach Online office, go to Monitor My Business, and go to sponsorship drill down. It took me like a few weeks to realize that I wasn't even looking at my downline the right way. Like, I was looking at it like the Christmas tree form. I was so confused. I would literally call Megan and be like, okay, I have no idea what my downline looks like. Can you tell me if I'm okay? Like, I don't understand. So getting familiar with Coach Online Office and figuring that out. And then obviously understanding the basics, like Michelle wrote out, because it really isn't that complicated. But what I did was, well, first of all, to get to Emerald, I signed up my mom on one side and my husband on the other side. And I sort of had to convince my mom to do this. Like, she is one of those people that it has to be her idea to do something. In fact, she has been looking at all of y'all's transformations from 80 Day Obsession, and she's like, are those people that you know? Like, are they on your team? And she's like, well, maybe I need to do this 80 Day Obsession. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, you do. Like, you should totally do it. But anyways, it was not an easy discussion to get her to purchase Shakeology. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it wasn't something that she just was like, oh, sure, I'll help you out. Like, I had to sort of work that. But that's how I got to Emerald. And then I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, so sign them both up. And then as far as getting to Diamond, the first thing I recommend doing is get out a piece of paper and literally draw a circle at the top. Then draw 2 lines. You've got one emerald, and you just need to put some blank circles. My husband and I literally sat down and did this after I had my conversation with Megan. I was like, okay, I'm an emerald now. I want to get to diamond. I don't understand what it means. I didn't get caught up in the details. I was just like, I don't care what I have to do. I want to be a diamond coach. And I got a piece of paper out and literally just filled in the gaps with people's names that were challengers of mine and tried to figure out how many more people I would need. And I'll get into more of that. And so definitely map it out. And then the next thing you need to do is pick a numerical date on the calendar. So have a date that you are going to hit diamond by, and emerald if you haven't hit emerald. Don't be afraid if that sort of scares you. So I became a coach the end of May. Megan asked me, she was like, okay, when do you want to hit diamond? And I said, okay, my 30th birthday is October 29th. I want to hit diamond by then. And she was like, okay, but I think you can hit it sooner. And I was like, yeah, right. Okay. And, I ended up picking, I think I picked like end of August. Yeah, I did. August 31st or something was my date. Long story short, I ended up not hitting it my first goal, but I hit it in September. But just having that date and a plan is going to make it so much more real for you, and is really going to light that fire to keep you going and pushing towards your goal. Another thing to do that helped me was when I did sit down, like I needed my husband's help. Like if you don't understand, like I'm not a numbers person. I don't understand all the downline stuff. Like I just sort of have that mindset of just tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. I don't really understand always how to get there, but sit down with someone that might be able to explain it a little bit better and strategize, like fill out that paper, get a plan in place. And then when you're looking at your downline, you want to look at it sort of like it's a game and you're a coach, okay? Like we are coaches, but look at it like it's a soccer game or a football game. You have to have players on the field to play the game. You can't play the game unless you have enough players. So you need to constantly be looking at it and say, oh, I only have, 4 players there. I need one more. And for me, what I did was I was literally building my entire downline with discount coaches. I think that sometimes people might think that I have a bunch of coaches working under me, like working the business, and I don't. I actually didn't have successful working coaches until around December of this year. So I maintained and got to Diamond by simply turning my challengers into discount coaches. So because people will just stop ordering their Shakeology, you have to have enough below you before you start adding to your okay. So like I had to add to me on both of my legs. And since I needed 4 coaches on my left, 4 coaches on my right, I would usually have instead of 4, I would have about 8 to really secure me before I started adding to the other sides, if that makes sense. Adding to my husband, adding to my mom to get them to Emerald. And the way that you have to do that, like think about what coaches do for like a football team. They recruit. So that's what we're doing. We're recruiting and we're hitting Success Club and we're sharing about the coaching opportunity. So even if you're a brand new coach, you can start sharing about coaching because there's a reason why you signed up to coach. There's a reason why you're doing this. So it's never too early to start talking about that opportunity. It doesn't have to be about the money. Like for me, I sort of felt like, well, I don't feel like I can share about this because, I haven't really like made money yet. And I don't feel like people are going to take me serious, but think about what coaching's doing for me from a different aspect. I mean, the community and, I could go on and on about how much, the coaching opportunity's done for me, but you need to start sharing that and obviously hitting Success Club, because the only way you're going to have players to play the game is if you're hitting Success Club, because those are going to be your people who are going to turn into your discount coaches, which are going to get you to your next rank advancement. So if you're running a challenge group every month or quarterly or whatever you're doing, I think Megan mentioned this the other day in her call. She said, if you have a challenge group and you have a date set for your next challenge group, that's going to sort of push you to fill in those holes and fill in those spots for potential discount coaches. Obviously, you want coaches that are going to want to run the business. That was something I had to sort of get past in the beginning because I was not having very much luck reaching people that wanted to really do the business part. However, I was successful finding people that wanted to, be in my accountability group and be drinking Shakeology and do these programs. Let's see. One thing that helped me significantly was creating a system for following up. So from day one, I had a follow-up system because I'm going to be honest, like I was hitting pretty high Success Club numbers in the beginning. I was talking with a lot of people. I had a newborn baby. I could have used pen and paper, but for me, I'm the person, and my husband he doesn't like this about me, obviously, but I'm the person that will probably just use my credit card, pay for what I need, because I know that's going to help my business move forward. And I invested in Team Z for my tracking system within like the first month or so. There is like a 30-day trial, and there's lots of different options out there. And I'm not saying you have to use a system, but find something that works for you. Because you have to be following up, whether that's with people you're having conversations with. I know, Michelle, I know you've mentioned before, you haven't always like following up hasn't always been like a big thing, but for me, it's been huge. Like, I can't even tell you how many people I've talked with that when I followed up a few months later, they ended up purchasing a challenge pack for me. Like, I'm constantly really working with that follow-up system. And then when it comes to your challengers, my system for that is they purchase their challenge pack. You know that I usually set a 4-day follow-up. So in 4 days, I'm going to go to my Coach Online office. I'm going to look at their order, see their tracking, see that their stuff is either on its way or whatever. And then I'm going to check in and I'm going to say, hey, I looked at your order. It looks like it's going to be getting there, on Saturday. I'm super excited for you to get started. Let me know when it comes in so I can help you, make your Shakeology and make sure that you're able to, access everything. And so then I'll set, another follow-up, and I'll check in with them about two days after they should have received their stuff. And I'm just like, hey, did everything come in okay? Have you been able to access your on-demand? Have you tried your Shakeology yet? And then I get them started, obviously in my accountability group. And then I'm following up with them. I usually set like a week follow-up for my new challengers. So every week I'm following up with a private message. And after a week or so, and at this point, they already know, because you need to communicate when you sell your challenge pack. You need to be honest with them and tell them, okay, just so you know, you're going to be set up for auto shipment for your Shakeology. But once it comes in, try it, see if you love it. If you're loving it, let's talk. I have, a way that you can potentially save some money on that. So don't worry too much about the auto shipment stuff. I was like, let's just talk after you get it. And they're like, okay. And so then once they've gotten it, they've had it for a week or so, I check in and make sure they're loving it. And then I say, hold on, I'm struggling with my thoughts here. I'll say, that's so awesome that you're loving it. If it's someone that I think, if it's someone that's been very active in my challenge group and they're, posting selfies and they seem to really love this, or maybe they've already loved Beachbody products in the past. And I'll say, hey, like, I don't know if you thought about this, but have you ever thought about doing what I do, like being a coach? And if they're like, yeah, I've kind of thought about it, then like, oh, awesome. And then you have that whole conversation you can have. Or if it's somebody that I really don't think would be someone I would want to work with or would make a good coach. I try not to prejudge, but there are some people, like if it's one of like my mom's friends or something, like I'm just going to be like, do you want a discount on Shakeology? And that's what I do. I have that conversation with every single person I sign up. So I get them signed up with a discount. That becomes another player on my team. And I just keep doing that. And what I actually had to do was once I had about, like I said, I would have like 8 people, like I just loaded up my sides. But then for my mom to keep her at Emerald, I had to have like 5 coaches to provide some cushion to keep me to Emerald, to keep her to Emerald on that side, if that makes sense. So, because at any moment, someone's Shakeology could stop and then I would lose my diamond. So that's how you keep your diamond. You've got to keep your 2 emeralds secure with enough coaches. So I would have about 4 under my husband, 4 under my mom to keep them at their emerald status to hold me to diamond. And I'm still constantly having to, I've stopped sort of doing that to keep them to emerald because now I have some working coaches that are emerald now, but you have to sort of, do that in the beginning to hold them there. And let's see. Okay. So following up, evaluate interest in coaching or discount opportunity. You need to be confident about Shakeology and how the discount works and being able to talk about that. I use voice messages to a fault. I honestly, like, I haven't even been able to run Instagram successfully because I am so used to using voice messenger that I don't even know how to type anything out anymore. So if you're not using voice messenger on Facebook, I highly recommend it. I would say that that has been key in closing the sale. Just a little touch on that. What I do is I'll start a conversation with someone through typing. Like, I'm not going to just, someone I've never talked to, I'm not going to just send them a voice message. But if they show interest in my accountability group or the program, I'll say, hey, so-and-so, that's so awesome that you're interested. I would love to share more with you. Do you mind sharing with me just a little bit about your own health and fitness goals? That'll give me a better idea if, this program would be great for you, or, if my accountability group would be a great fit. And they're like, sure. And so then they kind of tell me all their goals. And then I'll respond, sort of picking a few things that they talked about. And then I'll say, hey, would it be helpful if I sent you a breakdown of sort of what I get everyone set up with? I think that hearing some voice messages would help explain everything better. And then when you have a chance to take a listen, you can ask me, what questions you have, and we can go from there. And then they say, sure. And then I send them, I break down the workouts. I start with workouts. I talk about the workouts. Then I talk about nutrition, about the containers and the nutrition plans. And then I talk about Shakeology. And then I talk about my accountability group and the mealtime makeover. And then I use whatever they've told me about their own fitness goals in all of those parts to describe them. And then I say, okay, I know that was a ton of info. Take some time to digest that. Let me know when there would be a great time to follow up. And if you would like to see a short video clip of exactly what you would be getting if you were, interested. That's sort of how I set someone up. But as far as talking about the discount, using voice messenger to explain that, they obviously need to know that they're going to be charged, a monthly fee, but that fee is they're still going to be saving more money with the discount. And I always say, I have my mom signed up this way, my mother-in-law signed up this way, because people think that there's a catch, and they think that you're trying to, they think it's for your benefit, which it is, but it's also a benefit for them too. So, sort of explaining that there's no strings attached. I'm very, I'm always like, there's no strings attached. You can cancel at any time. I have all my friends and family signed up this way. Okay. Get into the habit of checking your downline every day. Make it a normal part of your to-do list. So this is on my to-do list every single day. I check my downline. I check who my new customers are. If you are an Emerald, I highly suggest, I had gotten into the habit of not sending emails to leads. And I'm so glad that I started doing that again, because Caitlin, who I think is on the call, is my newest coach, and she is a lead of mine. So definitely be looking at who your new customers are, reaching out to them, and then checking your downline, making sure that you have enough people that are going to hold you at your rank for every week. And it's a great way to see like who you can have shout outs for, like who's hitting Success Club, and looking at looking at your customer list and say, oh, she ordered her challenge pack, a couple of weeks ago. She's probably going to be getting her Shakeology soon. I should probably reach out to her and see if maybe she'd be interested in saving some money. So, if you don't have your follow-up set up, because sometimes I forget people, like I don't have everyone in Teamsy the way I want it. Like I sometimes miss them. And so I'll see my customer list and I'm like, oh, I better, reach out to them. Treat your business like a business. You're the CEO or the head coach on a team. Your social media is your storefront. When you aren't showing up, your business is closed. So this is probably the hardest part for me. I'm one of those I'm a perfectionist, and when I post something, I feel like it needs to be perfect and full of value. And you have to make time for it. Like, you have to make time to show up on social media, and you need to be providing value. I haven't even posted today yet, so I'm kind of listening to myself like, oh, I need to make a post. Making time for business development. This was really huge for me in the beginning. So as a new coach, not only was I showing up every day on social media, I've never missed a day posting, but I also immediately started listening to old calls, like old national wake-up calls, listening to old team calls. Really anything I could get my hands on, I wanted to learn more, because that is the thing about this business, is there is always more you can do to improve. I wanted to know, how to make the best, selfies and workout videos and just all of those things. So, and not doing them all at once, but just making some time to do those things so that you're evolving with the business. Let's see. And just having that, when you have the confidence, when you're doing your personal development, you're building on your confidence. And I know this is hard, and I struggle with this too, and I don't really know where I got the mindset last summer, but I saw myself as a diamond coach before I became a diamond coach. Like, I just was like, I'm a 2-star diamond coach, and I wasn't even an emerald. And you sort of have to wake up every day with that mindset that this is your business and you're serious about it. And, I looked up to the top leaders on our team, and I looked at, Megan, my upline, and I was like, well, Megan's hitting Success Club, 20. I'm going to hit Success Club 20. And I want to be I don't know what a diamond coach is, but I want to be a diamond coach. So just sort of like putting the blinders on and not really looking at everyone else, and just sort of saying, okay, I'm going to do this. But the thing about this, going back to business development, you can listen to old calls all day. You can dive into training, but unless you're actually doing those things, it's not going to help you out. Which I struggle with that myself. Like, I will take notes, I'll listen to a call, but doing those things. So Megan, when I first started last summer, she was telling us about how to grow our network and how to get involved, in groups, like if you're wanting to meet people. And I immediately did that. I immediately started doing those things. And that's not for everyone. It depends on who you are, but acting on the things that you learn about. That also might include making investments in your business if you're wanting to take this to the next level. And I know I won't get into all of that, but, if you're needing to invest in things like TeamZ, or an ad, or doing the social team builder training that we're doing right now. I did not have the money to do social team builder. I remember just sort of feeling like, oh my gosh, that's one more thing. I can't afford that. I actually ended up asking for my birthday. My mom and my mother-in-law split the cost of the social team builder training, and that's what I got for my 30th birthday, because I wanted it that bad. Like, I don't view this as just my like side hobby. I view this as my outlet and my roadmap to financial freedom for my family. So just kind of taking it serious and knowing that you might have to make those investments to take it to the next level. Okay, consistency, our favorite word, Michelle's favorite word. Whether people are liking or commenting on your posts or not, they are watching you. It takes time for people to build their trust, and it's not overnight. For me, I'm just now having people that I talked with last summer, or even that I didn't talk to, come around and message me interested. It's taking almost a year for those people to build their trust in me. And so for all you new coaches out there, just know that you sort of have to have low expectations in the beginning. It's just, think about it. You're on social media, your friends and family are like, what is so-and-so doing? Like, what is she doing? She's like a health and fitness coach. Like, what? She doesn't like to work out. This is weird. Oh, it's some like multi-level marketing company, but you just have to be consistent. think about where you're wasting your time. I no longer watch TV at night. Well, I do sometimes, but I'm not doing what I used to do. We used to binge watch a Netflix show every single night. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't watch The Bachelor anymore. That used to be my Monday night thing. And now I'm either having like a call with someone, I'm working on my business, using all those little extra time pockets that you have to grow your business, your network. This is all going to help you rank advance. Sometimes it's quality over quantity. So for me in the beginning, I'll be honest, I was not having I wasn't inviting a ton of people. I wasn't always talking to a ton of people every day, but the conversations I was having were really quality conversations. And I mean, there were some days where I would maybe talk to 3 people all day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything today but talk to these 3 people. And you can't have every day look like that, but some days it's going to be worth it because those 3 people might be your next coaches on your team. Those 3 people are probably going to buy a challenge pack from you. I've had phone calls with people on the phone, and I will say, knock on wood, I have never had a conversation with someone on the phone and not sign them up with a challenge pack, because I took the time to talk to them and explain to them everything in detail. I take the time to send these long, drawn-out voice messages that explain everything to a T that's going to fit their every need and why this program is why it's going to be awesome for them. Give yourself some tough love, aka stop listening to your own excuses, removing can't from your vocabulary. I have gotten to where now when I hear myself make an excuse or say I can't, I'm like, oh, yes, I can. Just stop telling yourself all of that negative stuff because it's not true and you know it. You're just saying it because you're trying to give yourself an out. We all have time. It's like people in our challenge group. I know it drives me nuts when someone's like, well, I just don't have time to work out. And then I look at you guys who are waking up at 4:30 to eat your pre-workout meal and work out at 5. I don't work out at 5, but a lot of you do. And I think that's awesome. But yeah, give yourself some tough love. And then I'm winding down now. So keep the fire lit. This is so important. Keeping your fire lit is what's going to keep you going. And the way that you do that is going to look different for everyone. But for me, that is participating in these team calls, going to Summit, being around the people on your team, the other leaders on your team that love this business and want to do big things with this business. Last summer, I had the opportunity to go down to New Orleans. I didn't go to Summit because I hadn't been a coach long enough, but just being around people who love this business and seeing their success. I remember telling my mom, I was like, Mom, I'm doing this. I'm a coach and I'm doing this and I'm going to be a diamond and I'm going to make this a lifestyle. And I mean, it just lit a fire under me. So you have to find ways to keep that fire going. And remind yourself why you started coaching, on a regular basis. Why did you start coaching and why are you still here? Why are you still doing this? And are you having fun? Because if you're not having fun and you hate it, then you need to take a step back because it's going to reflect in everything that you post, everything that you do if you hate what you're doing. And then this is probably my biggest thing, and this is what I attribute. The things that I attribute to my success are starting with a good network, which I know not everyone can do, starting at the beginning. My transformation. Never stop working on you. You are your biggest asset to your business. This will be the ticket to hitting Success Club and recruiting coaches, building your team. When I launched my business, I was 3 or 4 months postpartum. I was not where I wanted to be with my body, but I'd lost about 18 to 20 pounds. I had done enough to really get people's attention when I posted my transformation picture. But if you're not working on you and you're not being a product of these products, you're going to have nothing to offer anyone because no one is going to want to spend money on something unless you are showing that it works. That's huge. That's been huge for me since the very beginning. The other thing I attribute to my success is our team. We have got all the tools that we need. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. We have great training. We have great coaches on this team that know what they're doing. That's been significant. There's tons of other teams out there that I don't think have the quality people that we have on here. And then the last thing I have is, who are you and who do you want to attract as your future challengers and coaches on your team? If you're posting surface level posts, if you're not really being, vulnerable and true to who you are, and you're not going to be able to attract the right people, and people aren't going to get to know you. Someone should be able to go to your Instagram account or your like page, your social media page, and they should be able to know sort of who you are. More than just, oh, she works out and she eats clean, and she has a dog and some kids. Like, they need to know, like, that you struggled in high school with your body image, and I don't know, like, just digging into that deeper stuff is going to get people interested and going to get them wanting more. Because you have to find ways that make you unique, because there are so many other people out there that are in these types of businesses that you sort of have to find out, who you are and share it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I don't know. I think that sort of, setting that goal as far as Diamond, like having like a date on the calendar and realizing that it's really not complicated. And just mapping it out, and then just being consistent and following up and staying with your own journey are going to be your top things. So.
Awesome, Camille. I have a few questions for you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So when you first started as a coach, had you ever tried Shakeology before?
No. So I'm okay. So when I started as a coach, I had the 21-day fix program that I had bought for like $60 from a friend. And like, I had another coach at one point, and I had bought the 21-day fix, loved it, loved everything about 21-day fix. Then when I knew I wanted to sign up as a coach, I realized that I needed to purchase a challenge pack. Really wanted Beachbody On Demand because my husband and I don't have a gym membership, and he really wanted to take advantage of the workouts too. And I knew to be successful that I needed to drink Shakeology. It was not in our budget. It still isn't in our budget. We don't have money to buy Shakeology. We don't have the money to buy Shakeology for me and my husband. I don't really even know how we're doing that, but we're doing it because we're making an investment. We're making an investment, and we're seeing the growth. We're seeing the income come in. We're seeing the changes being made. But Shakeology is not, I don't post a lot about Shakeology because it's not going to attract my people. You have to figure out what's going to attract your people. My people are new moms that want to feel good in their clothes again, in their body again, and women who have never felt confident in a swimsuit. You have to figure out, who are you talking to? It's, like, if you are all about health and nutrition and being healthy and you want to feel good, like Megan, then you're going to post about Shakeology, not me. I love Shakeology. I really do. But I'll tell you, I don't drink it every single day. Yesterday I was craving it and I wanted it and I had it, but it's not something I drink every day. But you have to give people, you have to show them the value in it. You have to get them on board, because if they're not on board with Shakeology, they are not going to become a player on your team, like discount coach, and they're not probably going to become like a coach, because they have to be willing to make that investment in Shakeology.
Thanks. The reason I ask that is because I think people get hung up with Shakeology and the expense of Shakeology.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't love Shakeology, they're never, and it is such hogwash. You guys, I had tried Shakeology once and hated it. I had an old 3-year-old bag at the back of my cupboard. I remember telling Amy, like, I'll buy it because I want to build a business. It's part of the business. Now, we have new products on HD. So you don't have to even like Shakeology anymore. You can be a coach and sell the performance line, and it'll work just as well. When I started coaching, that was my only option. I had 10 Success Club points before I even got my bag of Shakeology. Okay, so you don't have to get so hung up on all these little details. And I hope you took that away from Camille. Honestly, I see so many coaches become collectors of information and then they do nothing. And it makes me, well, it infuriates my personality because I am not a collector of information. I get one little piece of information and I implement it. And then I say, okay, that worked awesome. Or I say, that did not work. No big deal. Course correct. Let's try something else. What my day looked like when I was working full-time, had a 2-year-old, had a huge business, plus this, I worked on myself first. That is so important. That's all you need to do to be successful. You need to get that workout in. You need to have good nutrition. If Shakeology is part of that, awesome. If the performance line is part of that, great. Pick one of them and go with it. Work on yourself and share that. And as far as personal development, it's super important. But my advice, if you are a new coach trying to get to Diamond, make that business development. I believe in personal development. I believe in the power of affirmations, and I believe in positive thinking, and try and do as much as that as you can. But you need business development. That is what is going to set the fire in your soul, because you are going to listen to old national wake-up calls, and you're going to get on YouTube and search Beachbody and just watch them. This is what my morning looked like when I was working. 4 a.m. I woke up. I did my workout. Like, I had to be to work at 8 in the morning, and I didn't get home till 9 o'clock at night. So this is where I had to fit in coaching. It wasn't easy. I got my workout in. I did my first post. It was always a workout post. I was a hairdresser, so it's not like I could just throw my hair up in a ponytail and head to work. I had to, like, full makeup, full hair every day. So during that time, I listened to YouTube videos. This laptop came everywhere with me. And I listened to YouTube videos that whole time on business development. And I would stop and I would jot down, okay, I'm going to try this. And I'm going to, whatever I felt like I needed. How do I run an awesome challenge group? How do I find new people? How do I, like, you can search anything. On my way to work, I had about a 20-minute drive. I listened to every single old national wake-up call. I downloaded every single one. Honestly, I am not exaggerating. I've probably listened to those calls 3 times each because there's so much value in them. But I didn't waste, please take note of it. I didn't waste any business building time. I couldn't have conversations with customers when I was doing my hair and makeup or driving to work. So that's when I fit in that business building time. And then the rest of my pockets were at work. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Sunday, I did my posts because you gotta fit it in. The consistency on your page. When I go and see coaches that tell me they want to hit some pretty big goals, and then I go to their pages and I see they haven't posted in a couple days, I can't help you. I can't help you. Because that is so important. That is the only way you're going to gain trust. Because if people see, oh, there's Colleen. I knew she wasn't going to do that. I knew it. She was so excited about that. And I haven't seen a post from her in 6 days. That's what they think. You have to stay consistent. I promise you, the people that are leaders on this team have never missed a day. Like, never missed a day. I know I say that all the time and you probably like roll your eyes at me, but honestly, I was sitting at the funeral home when my dad died and I still posted. It's my business. It's a big deal. I posted about my dad dying. My community wanted to know how I was doing. I talk about that all the time. I didn't post, oh, I'm really worried about my nutrition today. Like, I posted what was going on in my life. That is why the people that are successful on this team are successful, because their community knows them. I can go to Camille's page. I don't have calls with Camille. Like, Megan's her upline. We know each other, obviously. We spent lots of time together at the leaders retreat. But I knew Camille before the leaders retreat because she shares her life, not just surface level. And I know that's being vulnerable. Trust me, there's things in my life that none of you know. Like, there's still things that are under lock and key that don't need to come out. But things that people are going to relate to that are maybe a little hard. Like, guys, I don't love coming on a year and 4 months later after my dad died and doing a live video and almost crying. That's actually not that much fun to do on Facebook. But do you know how many people I connect with because of that? Zillions. Because so many people are going through the same things. So if you can somehow figure out how to get a little bit deeper and share some of your stuff, honestly, that is the secret. That is the game changer for creating your community that's going to trust you. And then it all starts happening. It just is like this spinning wheel. It takes some time to get spinning. If you're here because you think it's going to be income right away, it's not. It's just not. It's going to be spending money. Like, take your kids to the movies or buy yourself a new workout top. It's going to be that for sure. If you're getting some people purchasing something, the bigger stuff, the life-changing stuff takes time. But wow, when it gets started, it'll go. Once you get to diamond and then you get to 2-star, like, things really start rocking and rolling. Okay. Anybody have any questions for Camille or for me before we head out?
For Camille.
Yeah.
I don't really know, like, it's kind of, I don't even know if you're going to be able to answer, but I have like 100 and some odd like free leads through the year. And I think I've only ever had like 2 or 3 answer me. And I've always done the email. A lot of them have like the do not contact, which obviously those, like, if I don't have contact info, then I can't do anything. But like, have you seen where they don't answer you and then they do? Like, what are you emailing them? Like, I always email them something just quick and simple, checking in, you know, if you want to connect, here's a link to my Facebook page. A few of them I have, and like one of them is about to be like a discount for Shakeology, which is great, but most of them like don't answer me.
Yeah, I have the same problem. So I've had 2 people write me back. One was Caitlin on this call, and a woman, like a 61-year-old woman that wrote me back last week. That's it. So I don't know if it's because people I did include my like page. Like, now that I have a like page, I have that link on there now. So I don't know if people are going and like checking it out or anything, but yeah, I think it's more of one of those things. It's just something that you just do in hopes that someone will, like, you never know who you're going to meet that way.
Like, I try to only like follow up with all the free leads like once a month or, you know, every 6 weeks and whatever. 'Cause I don't want to be like, you know, that person who's like bombarding them, especially if they're not answering me. Like, I'm not putting my time and energy into anybody who's not giving me like anything back. And I've done that with my challengers, and it feels so much better now too. Yeah. So I'm not gonna like put all my time and effort into it, but like, it would be nice to like know
if someone is interested, especially when it comes to people like leads that might want to be coaches. So like, I'm someone who, if I'd ordered off the website and if someone had emailed me, I would have been like, oh, hey, like, I love Beachbody, and yes, I've thought about coaching. And so I think if someone wants to get in touch with you and connect with you, they're going to. It's just one of those like daily habits that you get into in hopes that you'll kind of meet that that special person, I don't have a lot of luck with the whole lead thing. I get commission. I like the commission. Like, it's more of like I like being where I can get their commission, but I don't always make like relationships.
Yeah. The thing about leads is they know that they're getting a coach. Okay. So when they finish their order, they know that they're going to get an email from a coach. So if they want it, they will be waiting for it. So, you know, you can try texting. Amy, my upline, has great luck with texting. You can plug their email into Facebook and try and find them on Facebook. There are ways to try, but if it's like anything, if someone wants it, they're going to either connect with you or they're going to answer that email. But it's another thing. Don't give up. Like, honestly, you guys, last week I have 2 coaches, like 2 people that have signed up to be a coach, just show up in my downline and they won't answer my messages. Like, it's the most random thing. Like, why would you sign up as a coach? Because you kind of have to put some effort into that. That's not like you just bought a bag of Shakeology. You actually like read all that shit and put your SIN number in there. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. I hope they're doing well because they could have some pretty awesome training. I don't know. So but you don't stop because you might just come across that one person that really, really wants to go with this. I know Jennifer, she's not on the call right now, but one of Megan's like coaches that's working, active coaches, just like Caitlin. You know, you just never know. You never know. So it's not something like, oh, no one will answer my email. Just keep doing it. You never know what the universe is going to put in your path. We're
all dealing with the same stuff. Like, I think that a lot of times people look at Michelle and Megan and other leaders on our team, and they're like, oh, they must be having like all these leads and they must have all these working coaches under them. And they don't. Like, we're all doing the same stuff and we're all having the same like struggles like every day. Like, I will be like, I have no idea what I'm going to post today. Like right now, I have no idea what I'm going to post today. I can post about our call, but you know, and I think one other thing that popped into my head when it comes to sharing on social media, from the very beginning, even before the whole like curiosity marketing thing came about, I was very hesitant about not coming across as salesy. Like, I've never said anything Beachbody. Like, you will not find the word Beachbody anywhere on anything I've ever written. And I think a lot of respect was built on that because I still have people message me and they're like, hey, I love how you're sharing what you're doing without actually really sharing what you're doing. So anyways.
Great tips, guys. That's good. Thank you so much, Camille. That was really, really good because I know lots of people look up to you on this team and see you as super successful. So thank you for sharing your tips, and thanks everyone for spending Saturday morning with us. And you guys know you can reach out to any of us if you have some questions. Okay? Happy Saturday.